You know, there is there is really something about, how can I put this? Being bubbly or being whimsy or just being a mixture of whimsy and gangsta. Because something that I've observed over my journey is people really do. A lot of people complexity. I hope I'm saying that word right. Complexity. It confuses people. Some people like things to be simplified. Okay, no, this is the way to put it. It's coming to me. I feel like I need to talk about one-dimensional thinking, narrow-minded. There's so many different terms, but a lot of people like things to kind of be one-dimensional. Like when a person develops their own perception for who you are to them, who they think you are to them, it's going to more than likely be like a one-dimensional aspect of yourself. Like you've made an impression on them, but this impression that you've bestowed upon them could have been you acting, I don't want to say acting, but just okay, being one aspect of yourself. I don't think a lot of people know how to perceive multifaceted people, if that makes sense. And when I say multifaceted, I simply mean individuals who just have multiple layers to them. You know, their personality isn't one set personality. Like there's a variety of different personalities about them, and they are unpredictable in a way, and you just don't know really what side of them you're going to get. That makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And I think it's because people kind of get set in a certain way of being. And when you get set in a certain way of being, you cut yourself off from being able to maintain curiosity and being able to, because when you cut off your ability to be curious, with that you also cut off your ability to imagine or just explore, if that makes sense. So you cut off a whole side of yourself that when you come across someone who is attached to that side of themselves, some people like demonize it, some people, to them it's just straight up weird, or again altogether it just kind of makes them uncomfortable because they don't really know how to, some people really don't know how to hold space for people like that. And it's solely because they are not in a place where they can resonate with that person. And this is, if you've ever listened to any of my podcast episodes, you'll hear me mention things like being a zombie. Yeah, I think I'm always saying being a zombie. Do you want to be a zombie? I don't want to be a zombie. A zombie is essentially a dead person. And it sounds harsh, I know, but it's a dead person. Like that person has no soul. It's a dead person. When you look in that person's eyes, you do not see a universe. What Jill Scott said? What a surprise, a universe in your eyes. Yeah, there's nobody home in that vessel. And when you cut off parts of yourself, when you really cut off parts of yourself to maintain a one-dimensional way of being, yeah, you detach yourself completely from your spirit, the light of your soul. So when you're bubbly, when you're whimsical, you know, when you're your little weird self, when you can switch from, you know, being professional, casual, you know, you have all these layers to yourself, like an onion, you have all these layers to yourself. Some people just can't take that. And the reason why they can't take, and this is why people like to box you in. This is why a lot of people like to have the whole category, again, things that are simplified to their level of understanding. It's just like the Barbie movie. If any of you have seen Barbie, and when they try to get her back in the body, they realized she was in the real world, and it was like, oh, we gotta get you back in the box. It's the same concept. Because you being this multifaceted person, you know, that carries influence. That carries influence. You got a light about you. You have a light about you. And it's nothing new. It's nothing you just found. No, it's something you've always had since you were a child. And you've been able to maintain that connection. When you're bubbly and you're whimsical and you're just weird and you have this childlike nature to yourself, you're so curious, you know, you're curious, you're open-minded, that's child. That's the spirit of a child. That's innocence. When you are an individual who maintains that connection with yourself, it really disturbs the leftover spirit of the individuals who've cut off that side of themselves. You know, they detach themselves from their inner child. They detach themselves from that connection within themselves to maneuver through life the way that, however they perceived it to be. Whatever may have occurred in their lives that have resulted into them settling in that way. Because if you ask me, that is a form of settling. That is a form of settling. To me, you clearly may not desire more for life. Like you feel as though you've gotten to a level where you understand life, and you understand that in order to live your life, you have to be a certain kind of way, and this is the way that you feel like you need to be. So you cut off that part of yourself to be how you perceive life to be, or needs you to be. And so, yeah, it's uncomfortable when you come across people who are not one-dimensional, multifaceted people. It's weird. It's weird. It's uncomfortable. And there's nothing you can really do about that. But I will say that being that way, it definitely improves the quality of your life. So if you are anybody that feels odd about being whimsical or bubbly, and this can go for either gender because this is a form of energy, this energy is not to be genderized. If you feel ashamed for being that way, please don't, because we love you guys. Like, we do. Yeah, that's the message.